Welcome back to the channel, guys. It's Wes the Suburban Viking. I got my buddy Dave here with me, and we are Midgard Axe, and today I'm bringing you guys the World Axe Throwing League Butcher. If you're new here, thanks for stopping by. Maybe you'll hit the subscribe button, stick around, go on the journey with Dave and I on who makes some of the best throwing axes or who just makes some of the best quality axes, okay? So in this rendition here, we're going to get into the World Axe Throwing League, the Butcher. Haven't done anything to it. Took it out of the box, set it in the closet. So now we're going to get into opening this thing and see what it's all about. The sheath that comes with it's really cool. It's a flexible, like a nylon type sheath. It does have a belt loop in the back, okay, and the rivets on here look really nice. There's no opening up of the stitching or anything like that. You do have Velcro on this side that, closes and opens it, and then you kind of flip it open, and then it comes out of the top like this. And what do we do, guys, with sheaths on this channel? We toss them. Sheath's fine. Okay, so let's get the plastic off here and see what this thing's about. That was pretty simple. And, of course, you get a rubber bit cover. Rubber bit covers. You guys know. Hey, you know what? I'm not complaining. They gave you a sheath. So they gave you a sheath and a rubber bit cover, so that's fine. Okay, so getting into this, like I said, this is my first time looking at it. I haven't had any experience with it before. Just kind of taking a look at it here and seeing what we got. Okay, so if you go on to the World Axe Throwing League's website, now guys, I've done a brief introduction and a brief history on who the World Axe Throwing League is. It's the video that I did called World Axe Throwing League Ace of Spades. If you want to learn more about who World Axe Throwing League is, go back and check that video out, and you'll get some information on the Ace of Spades, which I did really enjoy that throwing axe. Now, if you go onto the World Axe Throwing League's website and you go to their shopping page, okay, and you go to the Butcher throwing axe, and it'll say 3rd generation, okay, gives you a really cool picture right off the bat with looks like some wood planks that have been burned or whatever. It goes into some information here. It says introducing the Butcher. It says this patent design was carefully researched to aid you in exceptional axe throwing experience. With an unprecedented amount of coverage, this axe is one of the most popular axes to date. Okay. Then on it starts to boast a little bit about the Butcher, how it's specifically engineered for axe throwing, boasting a thin and sharp profile that allows you to effortlessly stick your axe in the target every time. Its straight handle design ensures precise throws, enabling you to hit the bullseye with pinpoint accuracy, okay? So it goes into a lot about the design of the axe and what it's designed to do, giving you a big bit, and kind of goes over all that, and crafted with meticulous attention to detail and everything like that, trusted by champions. Okay, so let's get into what they say about the axe on their website, and then I'm going to give you guys my impression and what I think about the axe, just kind of taking a look at it and comparing it to what they say. So online it says that the axe specifications, the head has a 1045 carbon steel head. The handle is an American hickory handle, which it is a straight handle, guys. It does have a brushed steel blade finish. They do put a clear coat varnish on their handles, which I still don't understand why, especially when you market it a throwing axe. That's kind of weird that they would put clear coat varnish on there, but that's just me. Handle length is 17 inches. The blade length is approximately 4 inches, okay? Approximate head weight, 1.72 pounds. Approximate total weight is coming in at 2.25 pounds, and it says that there is a sheath included. I will say that I do like the fact, and I made mention of this in the Ace of Spades video, that I do like the fact that they say that their measurements are approximately. So that way, if you do get something a little shorter or if your bit's a little longer, they give you that information up front, so that way you're not hit with a 3¼ inch bit and you're like, hey, it's supposed to be 4. It does say approximate, guys, and usually, like I've told you before, with axe manufacturers, you can expect to not get exact measurements sometimes when you order axes. It's just the way it is. Some of these heads are hand forged, and it's not the same person hafting the heads on the handles. If they're hydraulically seating them, could be a different person that day. Just you have tolerances here and there, and that's basically what they're saying on here is, hey, you might get a 16 3/4 inch handle, so don't freak out. Initial impressions of this thing, I really enjoyed the design of the head. I thought it looked really cool. I thought it would make a very bit heavy axe, okay? And there's not really much of a pole on the back, so all the weight is literally going to be all up front when you go to throw this thing. I mean, I can feel it. I knew it was going to be that way. You do get kind of a heftier eye right in this area to kind of manage that weight, but you can definitely feel that this thing is wanting to tip forward, which should make for a good flipping throwing axe. When I say flipping is that some axes, guys, when you go to throw them, you'll have to kind of like, you feel like you have to rotate it over, and then some feel like they're going to rotate themselves. This one feels like it's going to rotate itself right over, so should be fun. I like axes like that. I like bit heavy axes, so I'm interested to throw this thing, and I was interested whenever I saw it online, and I said I think that might be a very good bit heavy throwing axe. There is one thing that I noticed, okay? When I was looking at pictures of it online, and then I went to go pull this one out, the first thing I noticed when I took it out of the sheath was that the head, it's not a huge deal, but the head is kind of drooping this way, okay? Now, from the pictures that I see online, the space in between here and the handle is almost even. As you can see here, we got some space here, and then as it goes down, it gets closer and closer to the handle. Okay, so if I have the handle straight, see how the head's kind of cocked down? But to get the axe head straight, I have to turn it. Now see how the handle's kind of angled like this? It's not a huge deal, but I did notice it. Is it going to affect throwing? Maybe. Probably not a whole hell of a lot, but it was something that I noticed, especially if you go to over-rotate. This has a very straight bit, okay? So, if you do have a little bit of an over-rotation, it's going to be like once in every, 50 throws. But if you do have a little bit of an over rotation, that head kind of cocked down may not stick because you don't have that rounded bit. But that's okay. I'm sure I can throw it and it'll be just fine. But it was something that I noticed. Let's measure it and see how long it comes in at. On their website it says 17 inches, and I got 17 inches here as well. Online it also says that the bit is about 4 inches long, and here mine's exactly at 4 inches. So I do have a 4-inch bit. So online it says that this thing is coming in at 2.25 pounds. All right, so on my scale, I got 2 pounds and 3.5 ounces on the Butcher. I'm also going to give you guys the head length too. I forgot about that, so let's do the head length, and it's coming in at 5 3/4 inches from the pole to the bit. Now, other than the head being kind of crooked a little bit, facing down, they did put 2 steel barrel wedges in up at the top, just like the Ace of Spades. It is filled in all the way. There is no gaps. There is no holes in there. I will say that down here at the bottom, we do have a little bit of space. Is it going to be an issue? Maybe not. I don't know. I really don't know until I throw it, but we do have a little bit of a gap down there. It's enough to where I might be able to throw some linseed oil on there and swell that wood, but we're going to find out by throwing it, but I did notice that down there at the bottom. And of course, guys, they boast on their website about these things coming razor sharp, so let's find out. Nah, it's decently sharp, but it's not razor sharp. I would have to sharpen this before I started throwing it. It's okay, but it's not great. That's one thing that I'll say about the World Axethrowing League's website. When I went to the Ace of Spades page and to the Butcher's page, they do boast a lot about how it comes razor sharp. And this is the second one I've got that doesn't come razor sharp. So I don't know if that's something that they maybe should say, because this is the second time. Maybe it was just those 2 axes. I can definitely feel the wire on this side right here. So that's probably a lot of the reason why it's not very sharp. But I think that maybe they should go back to the drawing board on saying that it comes razor sharp, because this is the second time I've got one and it's not razor sharp. It's not a huge deal. I can sharpen it. But I'm just saying, if you're going to boast about it and you're going to put it in big black letters on your website, you may want to follow through with it. Now, getting into the bit profile, guys, the bit profile is nice. It's nice and even, okay, down here at the bottom. And then going up here, it's nice and even. It is super thin, guys. Okay, like, you know, just like the Ace of Spades was, the cheeks are super thin and the bit profile is super thin too. So, you know, this thing is going to stick pretty well when it hits. And you do have a nice squared pole in the back. This is designed for throwing, in competition. So I don't know, what you would want to use with that pole. Maybe I'll smack it a few times and see what it does when I go outside to test it. But it is back there and it's present. It's nicely done. It's nice and even on both sides. So they did a really good job on the pole back there. As far as the head hafted on the handle, it is, I'll give you guys it's straight. It's nice and straight on the handle. There is no kicks, no nothing. The forging on this thing is really nice too. I don't have any, kick of the bit down there where the head is twisted. It's nice in line with the handle. So hafting wise, they did a great job on this. So overall, not bad. I'm going to go over some pros really quick. I do like the 17-inch handle. I do like 17-inch handles. They're right between that hatchet 15 mark and the smaller axe 20-inch mark. As you guys know, the Gransforstbruch carpenter's axes come with 17-inch handles, and I love throwing those. So 17-inch handles for me is like a sweet spot. It's where it's small enough where you can still throw it hard, but long enough to get a heavier head on that handle to make it sink into the target. So I do like the handle length. I do like the design of the head. I think it's really cool. Nice thin profile. Bit heavy, so it doesn't take a lot to get this thing rotating and getting your rotations down when you're throwing. It's probably going to hit with some force. I don't know yet. Kind of just putting it in my hand for the first time. I will say it is a little heavy on top, but I will say that you can definitely feel that all the weight is literally from here forward. So it's going to tip forward when you throw, but I do enjoy that feeling on throwing axes. So all in all, not bad. I do like the profile of the bit. And it does look like it's hafted nicely. Cons. I don't care for the head kind of drooping down like that. I don't know why it did that. It probably has a lot to do with either one or two things. Either the eye of the axe, head, or the handle inside here shaped weird. So we're going to throw it and find out and see what happens. But I'm going to keep my eye on it because I don't really care for that. Two, I will be honest with you guys about something. I don't care for this handle. Not the length. I don't like the way it feels in my hand. I've noticed this with a couple other axes that I've gotten in and that I've seen in the stores, is that I don't know what's going on, but something's going on with handles where people are starting to make these really thin handles in here, but then make them long this way. And then it's almost like a long oval, but it doesn't even, it's weird feeling. I don't care for that feeling on this axe. It doesn't feel the same as the Ace of Spades. It really doesn't. Now, guys, handles are all kinds of different. Maybe it's just this one I got and it's shaped weird and I don't care for it. But I will say that I'm not a big fan of this handle and how it feels in my hand. It feels too long. It feels too thin in here. And it's a little uncomfortable. I don't really care for it. It doesn't mean it's going to fly bad. I'm just letting you guys know that that's one of the cons I noticed was I didn't care for the handle all that much. We do have vertical grain down here at the bottom, which is kind of cool. So that's good. But I just don't care for the feel of this handle. It feels weird in the hand. But without further ado, let's get in to see who won the CRKT Woods-Chogan Tomahawk. Let's spin the wheel and see who won the CRKT Woods-Chogan Tomahawk. And the wheel has spoken. It picked number 24. Number 24 is Austin Arnold 182. Austin, you are the winner of the CRKT Woods-Chogan Tomahawk. Go into the description. My email address is in there. Just shoot me an email and I'll get up with you about sending you this Tomahawk. Just so you guys know, sometimes it takes me a little bit. So if some time passes and you don't get it, don't freak out. It's just life happens and I get busy. But you will get your axe. Also, let me go over one other thing. There is an extra spot on the wheel. The reason why there's an extra spot on the wheel, I've been doing this for a while now, that is a wild. So if 24 people enter, I will put 25 spots on the wheel. The last spot will always be a wild. And what the wild is that I'll spin the wheel. If the wild hits, I'll spin the wheel again. And whoever wins, and if it hits the wheel first, or hits the wild first, and then your number hits second, you get an extra prize, whether it be a whetstone, or I'll sharpen the bit or redo the handle for you. I'll give you guys the option on what you want. Number two, Going forward, guys, I need you to write axe first in your comment and then continue on with your sentence. Me and the wife had to sit down. I actually went over it a couple times myself, and I couldn't determine who was actually entering and who wasn't. So I enlisted the help of my wife. She was kind of confused too. So in this one, guys, I just included everybody that wrote axe into their comment. I don't know if everybody wanted to be into the giveaway or not, but I didn't want to exclude people. So everybody that wrote axe got entered. Going forward, though, I need you to write axe first, period, and then write your comment out so that way I know if you're trying to enter or not, okay? So thanks for everybody for entering. I appreciate all the support you guys are giving me, and I hope that Austin really enjoys this thing. Send me a video, man. Send me a picture of video you throwing this. I really enjoy getting those from you guys after you win, seeing you throwing these axes and tomahawks and stuff. It's really cool. So back to the video. Thanks. Enter again. I'll have plenty more coming up. So that wraps up the CRKT Woods Chogan Tomahawk. If you don't have one, get one. Those things are pretty decent for the money, okay? And I didn't say this before, guys, but I did do a little research on that. The CRKT Woods Chogan Tomahawk ranked number 4 in Men's Journal for axes of 2023. So it boasted that pretty high, that people really did enjoy that Woods Chogan. So I enjoyed it too, so get one. Congratulations to the winner. If you could, send me an email. My email's in all my video descriptions, and we'll link up together, and I'll send it to you so you can get to throwing it. So that's the end of the Butcher. We're going to take this thing in the next video, go outside and throw it. I'm going to tell you guys what my initial impressions are when I first take it out, and then kind of go through everything with you and give you my final impressions on whether or not this is a really good flyer and if I would recommend buying it or not. So far, not bad. I do see some things I'm concerned about. However, we're going to throw it. The proof is really in the pudding, guys. I can tell you what I think and kind of just go, oh, this may not be good, but you really need to take an axe and throw it because your mindset could completely change based on just assumptions or things that you see that you're not sure about. You really need to throw it. And that's what me and Dave are going to do in the next one. So I appreciate all your support. Thanks for hanging out with me and Dave. Come back and watch me throw this one. I'm going to take it outside and do some really good throwing. If it flies well, I'm going to step back for really far distance and throw it a bunch of times too. So until next time, guys, see ya.